Thank you, Malachi, Bryce, Spencer, and Damian Price. Let's give them another round of applause. So this is our newly formed jazz quartet. They've been working since the summer, and now they're working after school twice a week. We're very proud of them. On behalf of our school, the Denzel Washington School of the Arts, our PTA, our PTSA, our staff, our students, and you parents, welcome back. It's been a long time. We haven't seen you in over a year and a half. We're glad that some of you opted to come out and join us this evening. We are videotaping the meeting for parents who were unable to attend, and we will share it. This is a meeting that I felt, when you hear the word emergency and mandatory, you assume the worst. But it's not that it's the worst. It's just that we're coming out of a pandemic and all of the schools are in trouble. If you take a look at what's happening at our beloved Mount Vernon High School, if you take a look at the STEAM school, you take a look at our school, which I'll speak to in the State of the School address, our kids are in trouble, just a little bit. And as a community, we need to come together to help them to get through this. This pandemic is not going to last forever, but it's going to take the concerted effort of all of us in this auditorium and the parents who are not in this auditorium to ensure that our kids are going to make it through. So I wanted to create an agenda that would, first of all, give you some background information on what we've been doing since September, talk about the PTSA will address you, the academic supports, what's happening in the arts, and then I'll get into the nitty-gritty of the situation. The reason that I ask that you email the questions is because I would like to formulate, like I'm documenting this entire process. And I don't want us to run over the 1 hour time that I promised parents we would use tonight. And so it's easier for me to collect all of the questions, and I promise I will answer every question. And I will send you a copy of all the questions with my responses to them. So rest assured, I'm not here to play with you or pretend with you or anything like that. I am here to ensure this school that was founded in 2015 and is still existing, and it's the most premier school in the district, remains that. I like when our parents come to me and they come in a positive light. When they ask, what can I do to help? Where are we? What's going on? Be very cognizant of being accusatory because I have your children's best interest at heart. I hope you understand that and believe that. So I'm going to get started with Ms. LaToya Anderson. Are you here, Ms. Anderson? Excellent. She's our PTSA president. Let's welcome her to the stage.
Good evening, everyone. My name is LaToya Anderson, and I am a proud parent of the Denzel Washington School of the Arts. I have two daughters. Olivia is in the 12th grade, senior, and Amelia is in the 9th grade. Tonight, I just want to greet you and thank you. I want to thank you so much for your support of the PTSA over the years. We just started and we had a membership drive and we were able to reach our goal in 1 month. Thank you. As a matter of fact, we actually received an award because we were among 6 schools in Westchester who were able to reach their goal by September. So this is all because of you parents. So thank you, and you need a pat on your shoulder as well. Thank you so much. In addition to that, we are aiming for a 100% growth. So we're seeking to reach 150 members. So parents, teachers, students, administrators, grandma, aunts, everyone can join the PTA. Please join the PTA. It shows that you are vested in your school, you are vested in your students' success, and it looks good. So please support us and join the PTA. We are here for every children in the school. We are here to help, to advocate for each and every child. Let our voice, we are all one voice, and we speak on behalf of every child, not just my two girls, but everyone. We are here to provide additional, fun activities. We had a dance. Well, we supported the seniors in the dance and Halloween. We're looking forward to another dance for February and a spring fling for the middle school children. So please support, your children. They're good kids, and they're not only here to learn, they're here to have a little fun, right? And studies show when you are involved in your students' school, they do better in school. So that's what we're here for. So thank you very much. If you have any questions, always please free to email us at DWSAPTA@mountvernoncsd.org. Before I go, we have our team, which consists of Crystal Ballard. She's our vice president, and we all know her. Hey, Crystal. We have our treasurer, Reverend Franklin Williamson, and our new secretary, Ken Robinson. I know you've been getting some messages. For those of you who are PTA members, you've been seeing some messages from Ken. She's our secretary. And we also have Cherie George, who is our membership chair. So thank you all, and enjoy the rest of the meeting. Thank you, Dr. Collins.
Mr. Dempsey, she needs her PowerPoint. Thank you.
Good evening, parents and staff. My name is LaTonya Beavers. I'm the STEM administrator for the Denzel Washington School of the Arts. I'm here to present to you Academic Power Hour. So, next slide. Academic Power Hour is designed to support students in grades 6th through 8th grade. Many of these students are struggling in ELA, English, and mathematics. This year, we use the iReady assessment, a skill-based assessment that lets us know where all the students are in both ELA and math. And through that assessment, we were able to see who's required to attend Academic Power Hour. So it's not just for students that are not passing English and mathematics, but it's also students that may need help according to the baseline assessment. So during this time where we have Academic Power Hour, it's after school. It does not happen during the day. The student attends Academic Power Hour from the hours of 3 to 5. If your child was selected for Academic Power Hour, you should have already received a letter at this point. If you did not and you want your child to receive extra help, they can still come after school on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays for Academic Power Hour. Next slide. So we use the iReady assessment. It's the same assessment that in this Mount Vernon School District used for the elementary school. It is broken down in different categories and levels. So it's broken down on above level, on grade level, which is the green area that you see there. The yellow area is below grade level. The red level is also very below, normally 2 years or more below grade level. Many of our students are not that much below grade level, but we do have some students that are below grade level and need the extra support. It's a skill-based assessment, so it basically targets each skill that the student will need, and that tells us exactly what strategies and what we need to review with the students. Next slide. So the graph here shows 7th grade. So this is just a sample of the data that we received this year. So you can see in some areas, students are completely green, meaning they do not need any support whatsoever, and many of our students are on track. There's a few of our students that may need vocabulary, but in after school, we cannot take care of vocabulary and literature and everything. So we focus on 2 areas. So this year in English, they're going to be focusing on literature and informational text. So the students that are in the yellow group and in red were selected to come in academic power hour from 3 to 5. They would get extra support with their teachers, and they would be targeted. We do not have a lot of students, so this is a time that students can get individualized instruction and support. If you have a student that you want to also be there, you can just talk to your teacher. Next slide. We also do the same assessment for math. So the students in grades this year, 6th through 10th, took the iReady assessment. The students in grades 6 through 8 can be selected for the academic power hour. In 9th grade, we use it to see if students need extra support, and we give something like strategic reading and transitional math, other supports to help them during this time. So when we do the math assessment, it's cumulative. So it's a little bit different than ELA. So students in math do those same topics every year, and it just goes more in depth each year. So this year we're going to focus on algebra and numbers and operations. We cannot focus on everything, so we target 2 major areas which will come up on state exams and that they would need throughout their math career. Next slide. So this year we did something a little bit different. And I'm very happy to present that we're going to have advanced placement courses, which many of the teachers will be able to give enrichment help, not only students that need help in math and English or history or other subject area, but high school students that need help in their advanced placement. It's important for students to take some advanced placement classes because it helps them towards college and career readiness. Next slide. So this gives us a long list of all the different AP courses we have. And this is not until every single course, because we have teachers that can also do AP computer science, statistics, and others that we didn't offer this year. But we do have a lot of AP courses that students are taking, advanced placement for students at the school. So many of our 11th graders and 12th graders are in a lot of these courses, which can be very rigorous, but it helps them for college. Next slide. So advanced placement prep. So you may ask yourself, why take advanced placement courses in high school? You can just wait till you get to college and take those same courses. You don't need to take them now. But the reason to take them now is you get small group instruction, you get individualized help with a teacher, you have to pay when you go to college for those courses, you do not pay here to take those courses, and you also get the extra help that you may need to help you be successful in those courses. So it's beneficial to take those advanced placement now than to wait till you get to college and take them. Next slide. So basically, in conclusion, we have 2 programs that really is part of academic hour. One is to support students that need help in English and mathematics for grades 6 through 8. And another program is the high school advanced placement prep courses that will help students prepare for college. These courses, students take during the hours of Tuesday, during the hours of 3:15 to 4:15 on Tuesday and Thursday. If you have any questions or any other concerns about the program, you can contact me, Ms. Beavers, at lbeavers@mtvernoncsd.org with any of your questions.
Thank you, Ms. Weaver.
Good evening, parents and students and staff members. I'm Norma Lisa Thomas, and I'm here to bring a report on the Arts Department's updates. It is in the packet that was handed to you. I know it's kind of dark right now, but I'm going to give you some brief highlights of what's going on in our Arts Department. We are very busy with your children. I'll begin with the visual arts under Ms. Janet Rush. So currently, the middle school students in visual arts are researching topics related to animals and culture and creating armatures of papier-mâché sculptures. The visual arts classes have discussions including studies of ancient Egypt, West African folklore, Greek mythology, and other historic cultures. The high school studio arts classes combine various sources of imaginary as they create seamless and portraits of tones and community-themed exhibits. The arts class, visual arts, on Tuesday, November 9th, they collaborated with the Jacob Burns Film Center to host a visit from the producer and director of the animated film, The Ride. That was a very exciting event for the Arts Department. From the presentation and subsequent workshops, students are expected to develop unique ideas for making works of visual arts through the use of animation. So there's a little bit more information in that section of the visual arts you can read at a later time. In the dance department, I'll begin with Ms. Monica Johnson, our middle school dance instructor. So we had an exciting time here, October 28th, when the dance department gave us a Halloween flash mob for the middle school dance department. They presented 3 performances in our experimental theater, and it was very exciting for the school. It was kind of a wonderful, uplifting time for the students to just have fun. Just real good, wholesome fun, and they cheered each other on, and the whole spirit of the event was quite exhilarating, and it was well needed since it's our first time really all coming back together. Many parents were participating in that event on Zoom, and we just want to thank Ms. Johnson and the middle school dancers for bringing that wonderful time to us. It was just really a lot of fun. And yeah, it was September. So November 15th to the 23rd, the students are performing their original choreography. This is another exciting development in our middle school dance program. So they'll be creating their own dances and their own works, and this will be part of their assessment for performance. In October, Ms. Johnson participated in the auditions for Lion King, and several of the dance majors were selected and had become part of the ensemble. These are middle school dancers that are going to be showcased in our Lion King production. We also have senior dance majors Kendall McDowell and Sydney Paisley Thomas, who are the assistant choreographers and rehearsal directors. So look at that. Our babies are growing up and helping to run the show. So we're so proud of them, our seniors in the dance department. In our acting and theater department, we have a new high school instructor, Ms. Yvonne Wright. The high school theater department is rigorously training our young actors in character and text study. They recently did a production for us last week, actually. The students performed Shakespeare and a variety of monologues. They did an excerpt from The Midsummer Night's Dream, and they also did other monologues that were personal experiences of the students. It was very heartwarming and just a wonderful, intense display of student work in the theater department. So kudos to Ms. Wright, and their upcoming event will be a winter holiday showcase, so we're looking to stay tuned for that. Additionally, the 11th and 12th grade acting majors took a trip to Broadway on November 10th to see the production of Lackawanna Blues. So this was a pretty exciting trip for them. They actually took the Metro North into the city, so they were real gung-ho students traveling through the streets of New York City to experience a wonderful Broadway production. So we want to thank Ms. Wright for giving our students that experience of traveling to the city and seeing a live production. They look forward to doing their winter holiday showcase, and stay tuned for those details. In our high school dance department, Ms. Jennifer Jackson will be producing the dance festival of the autumn season, featuring her high school dancers. So the dancers have been working very hard on their collaborative projects, and they're very excited to showcase their own original work. So we look forward to this event. It will be taking place November 30th here at the school, as well as in the dance studio. Musical theater, Miss Angela Hall, with our middle school musical theater students. So Ms. Hall has been very, very busy with her students. The 6th grade musical theater students, several of them have been cast as leads in our production of Lion King. And as you read through this information, she gives you all their names. It's just a wonderful presentation of the growth and development of our acting program and our musical theater program, that these students are able to train in class and still step up and take an authentic audition where they have to really work. There were maybe 100 students here trying out for these parts. So the students who were able to accomplish this goal, we want to give recognition to their teacher, Ms. Hall, for carefully and diligently preparing them for their auditions. And you will see the work of her labor in the production of our Lion King. Additionally, the 9th grade acting class, we have a student, Ellie de Granbury, who was accepted into the Young Playwrights Group, which is an intensive playwriting program. You'll read a little bit more about her. 9th grade student, Celine Buchanan, teaches tap dance to toddlers. This is all coming out of the musical theater program under Ms. Hall. There's also a residency program for the Theater Development Fund, and the musical theater students are participating in that. They get to go see a Broadway play. Hopefully they will get to go this spring as we watch the COVID numbers hopefully coming down. Ms. Hall will also be interviewed by the TDF Stagers this coming Friday for an article they are writing about arts teachers coping with teaching during the pandemic. On to our instruments department. Mr. Mansagori, who's our band director. There's a wonderful picture here in the pamphlet that you'll see of our marching band. They performed at City Hall for their HBCU College Festival. Their drum line was very active this season. Members of the band attended and performed the SUNY Purchase Music Conservatory Open House. The SUNY Purchase Brass Quintet came and performed in our band room for our band students upstairs. Excellent performance. The brass students were inspired to hear this ensemble. One of the most impactful moments was when members shared when they decided to live a life of music making. So they got a chance to speak one-on-one to professional musicians who are living the life that our students are learning and being trained to do. That's quite excellent. The band performed at Fordham University for a varsity basketball game. The band performed at the Harlem Renaissance HBCU Classic. And they also were featured at the Greatest Centennial AME Zion Church 125th anniversary. One other exciting bit of news is this coming Saturday, the Denzel Washington School of the Arts Marching Band will be performing in the Thanksgiving Day Parade for New Rochelle. So if you're in town, you can stop by and see them and cheer for the blue and gold. That will be Denzel Washington and Mr. Gore. Yay. A little clap for And further, in our music department, our orchestra and piano under myself, Ms. Thomas. So we have students who are in grades 6th and 7th who audition to our school as piano majors or string majors. They take class together. So literally half the class are sitting at keyboards and working on their piano pieces, and the other half of the class is actually playing their violins and cellos. But on Tuesdays and Thursdays, they all play strings. Their beginner string ensemble is just amazing, and there's so much enthusiasm. These kids are doing so great. They're going to be performing some Beethoven, they'll be performing something from the Nutcracker. I'm just really excited about their progress, and they seem to just be genuinely happy when they come to my class. I just can't tell you how much that just, all right, now come on, let's go, sit down, let's get started. But they're just bubbling with enthusiasm, and they really enjoy the moment. So I'm pretty excited about that. Our 8th and 9th grade piano students are working on, have created playlists where they can actually sit and perform for 15, 20 minutes of wonderful music for background events. If there's luncheons, or if there's a banquet, or any other affair, they would be able to entertain for 15, 20 minutes up to maybe a half hour. And that's just a really great opportunity for them because it's a form of employment as a pianist to be able to provide music like that, background music. So these playlists consist of classical music, pop music, different cultural songs, whatever the student really enjoys to play, and they can play well. Those are our 8th and 9th grade students. You will also see in this pamphlet a beautiful picture of our orchestra and jazz band students who will be performing at this year's New York State School Music Association Conference up in Rochester, New York at the Convention Center in Rochester. So excited. I just wanted to say just a quick little note about this. We were in a pandemic when I said, Dr. Collins, can we just do a video? So we went into the experimental theater. Some of our students, Isis Torres in particular, and Katia, helped to videotape the students in the theater. We used that video along with some programs of our previous concerts and a wonderful letter from our dear principal, Dr. Collins. And I just said, oh, let's just submit it, let's see what happens. And don't you know, in August, we got this letter that said we were approved and accepted and invited to perform in Rochester at the Convention Center, December 4th, in the Lilac Ballroom. We will be in our gowns and our tuxedos, graciously representing Denzel Washington School, Mount Vernon City School District, and all the parents. And I'm just so excited about this opportunity. We're going to do an overnight trip. We'll stay in a lovely hotel. We will visit the University of Rochester. We'll take a little tour through their music department. They're expecting us. And on the way down on Saturday, we'll be stopping off in Albany. We'll have lunch. We'll see the Capitol. You know, just a nice little educational tour as we travel back down. So we're very excited about that upcoming event. In the pamphlet, it also lists other events that the orchestra has played this fall. But one other group that I wanted to mention is our new jazz band. You heard some of them today, so we're very excited about their new director, Antonio Sciacca, who is a world-famous jazz performing pianist and conductor. He's been in Spain, Italy, all over. Jazz at Lincoln Center. He's worked with Wynton Marsalis, and he's here working with our students twice a week in jazz. Woo! I'm so excited. We did a collaboration the other day in our class with the orchestra, so we're doing jazz orchestra. Can you get that? I mean, Duke Ellington is just an amazing. So we look forward to hearing them live in performance, and they're also traveling with the orchestra. They will be performing also at the Convention Center in Rochester. Last but not least, we also have with us Mr. Derek L. James. Mr. James is working with our voice students. He is our vocal coach for The Lion King. He also works with our choir. If you were here for the early, graduation last June, as well as the opening with the superintendent this year, our choir was led by Mr. Derek James, and we're so proud to have him. And Mr. Dempsey, whose team of students operates our lights, our cameras, our stage crew. Thank you, Mr. Dempsey, and thank you, parents.
Thank you, Ms. Thomas. Let's give her a round of applause. We went into the pandemic mode on March 19th, 2020, and are slowly merging to a state of normalcy. We returned to 100% in-person learning for the 2021-2022 school year, and the students and teachers are still adjusting. That was a year and a half of uncertainties, not just for us in Mount Vernon, but for the entire nation. But our teachers were resilient in moving from Zoom to hybrid to in-person learning. Protocols were established to hopefully keep all of us safe. Vaccinations were approved. Debates ensued regarding to vaccinate or not to vaccinate. Mandates were established by the Department of Health and the district. We all simply wanted our lives back. Normalcy continued to be a faint cry, and it felt like we would be forever doomed. That is when community, family, and our village of the Denzel Washington School of the Arts became even more critical. It was my desire to keep us moving as if we were in a state of normalcy. You get a sense of that by reviewing what you heard Ms. Thomas just share with you that happened since September. So we have been trying to work to ensure that our students still feel normal with all of the performances and all of the workshops and all of the master classes and all of the enrichment and all of the academic pieces that are in place. Our role is to ensure that they continue in a state of normalcy. I'm not going to have us lose our minds because of things that are going on nationally or even up the block at our flagship high school, Mount Vernon High School. Our children, our students, need us now more than ever. They are being swiftly directed by the media, play fighting, recording and posting negative videos. They are searching for new ways to elevate their consciousness. They are told by peers and the media, try vaping, it's safe, it's harmless. But we know that is not the truth. Vaping can lead to chronic lung disease, cardiovascular disease, and asthma. Vaping can become addictive. Entire generations of young people are getting hooked on nicotine. Right when we thought we were moving away from smoking. Instead of smoking traditional cigarettes, they're now vaping. E-cigarettes use among high school students has increased by 900%. I don't know if you knew that. The kids are vaping tobacco at 900%. That's the rate. 40% of young vapers had never smoked regular tobacco before, but it was something about vaping that spoke to them. You have to keep in mind, when children are vaping, you can't smell it. There's no scent, there's no fragrance. So they could actually be in their bedroom at your home and vaping. Last Friday, I was sent a video by a student of ninth graders openly vaping in our bathroom. The week before, a 6th grader videotaped themselves as they engaged in what they call play fighting. The play fighting appeared quite real to me, and they could have been injured. Both incidents yielded suspensions. Now, in the last 3 years of our school, we had 0 suspensions. We come back this year when we're in person, and now I've already had to suspend 6 students. I didn't want to do it. Dr. Hamilton said I didn't have to do it, but I felt at this rate, if I didn't do something that reminded the children of how serious these things were, they would continue to happen. Whenever we have something happening, whenever we have events happening, I always try to steer away from suspensions. You can do in-house detentions. You can have them not go on the prom or not participate on a field trip. But with vaping, I was blown away. And if I could mask out their faces, I would show you, and you would be equally appalled. Those are the students that we know of. I don't know how many other children are trying vaping. That's one of the things that prompted me to call this meeting. Our children are crying out for help. They need us. It was because of those incidents that I felt compelled to bring us together as a community to begin the necessary work of protecting and edifying our children, to begin the healing process. We have all witnessed how Mount Vernon High School has begun to spiral out of control via violent fighting. Is it social media? Is it a lack of parenting? Is it peer pressure? Are the children depressed and unsure of where to turn? Is it gang initiations? You don't have the answers. 2 weeks ago, 3 Mount Vernon High School basketball players came to our school. They would have stayed outside of our school, but 2 of our girls let them in. The girls were clueless to the dangers that were possible. Fortunately for us, nothing happened. Now, the majority of the incidents in our school have been juvenile. They've been small little things. But little things grow into big things. And as an individual, as a human being, I like to get ahead of it before it spirals out of control. So I know when you came this evening, you thought I was going to tell you all these horrible, horrible, horrible things. That's what I'm not here to do, because I would have failed you as a leader if I allowed all those horrible things to happen, then ask you to come in and figure it out. I'm saying to you, vaping is bad. Play fighting is bad, right? Going into the bathroom and vaping or fighting or pretending like you're fighting or any of that stuff is bad for our school. That's the extent of what we have. Kids, girls are talking about each other, don't like the clothes, who you looking at, that kind of stuff. That's what we're dealing with. We don't have children bringing weapons into the school. We don't have children threatening each other to really fight in a violent and brutal fashion. That's not what our issue is. Our issues are those small things that can easily grow into big things. Now, while the COVID cases are reducing nationally, we have to remain steadfast in ensuring we do not drop our guard and become infected by COVID. Since September 2021, we have had 9 COVID cases in our school. 7 cases were students, 1 teacher case, and 1 TA case. The only way to reduce the number is to ensure you are not sending your children to school when they're sick. If they say they are not feeling well, please keep them home. And more than anything, parents, please take care of yourselves, because you will be of no use to your child if you're no longer here. So you have to ensure that you're getting your checkups, you're doing everything you need, you're hydrating, you're eating healthy food. When your kid is sick, keep them home. What we're finding is that when the kids come to us and they have a positive case of COVID, they've gotten it from their parents. All right, so parents, I need you to take care of yourself. Make sure that you're doing whatever, taking your vitamin D, all right, taking your multivitamins, getting plenty of rest. Sometimes it becomes overwhelming and you feel like you have to do so much. But I'm sure there are many of us in this auditorium who can attest to losing friends, families, loved ones with this COVID pandemic that's going on. The majority of our students, let me be clear. Now, I don't want to scare you. Ms. Mack said to you, talk about the good stuff too. Everything about our school is good. So you heard what Ms. Thomas said. You heard what Ms. Beaver was sharing. You saw the number of AP courses we have. You see that we have prep for the AP students. We'll have the Regents prep. We got a jazz band. We have a music production program. We have modern dance. We have everything. And the kids are participating every day. They are not, and I'm sure they're saying to you at home, I want to go to school. Because they love their school. They love the activities we provide for them. I know there are people who would wish that I would stand up here and say a number of negative things about our school. I don't have anything negative to say about our school, except we need to, and this isn't even negative, we need to come together as a community to protect it. We need to make sure that the values we have and that the vision I had and I brought to you stays in place. We don't have to bicker. You don't have to argue with me. Always know that I got your child's best interest at heart. The majority of our students have respect for each other and are doing what they are supposed to do. We have between maybe 2 and 4% of our kids who are involved in conflicts, whereas nationally, schools are experiencing around 40 to 50% of troubled students. I am confident that we will continue to grow into the premier school that I envision. We have to continue to work together as a community, a village, to achieve the dream. Please talk to your children, take the time, talk to them. You know, I felt like with my child growing up, I was rushing everything. I wanted her to grow up. I wanted her to grow up, go to college. Now she's in college. Now I'm pivoting. Right? You sit and you hope, go ahead, read the book, do what you're supposed to do. Aren't you applying to college? Okay, bye-bye. Go to Baltimore. You can live in Baltimore now. All of that. And then when they're gone, you're like, oh my, it's me by myself. Right? And I love my daughter, no disrespect. But I'm saying I thought it was, let me get you out. Let me enjoy your children while they're young. Take time and understand what their dreams are. They're probably going to change up. I mean, we had a student who was our salutatorian, who was a phenomenal visual artist, and she's now at Binghamton studying biochemistry. Who would have thought? We have a number of our students who are studying nursing. They were dancers. They're all nursing majors in college. So they're going to change up. All we can do is support them. All we can do is love them. And all we can do is be their biggest cheerleader. Our school is not going down anybody's drain. I didn't bring you in here to tell you about these atrocious things going on. I wish I had the answer for Mount Vernon High School. I sincerely do. I think about it every single day. How can I be of an assistance? I am not in competition. We are not in competition, you know, with any other school. We're just trying to do what's right for our children. We have to. We're a small school, and we have to continue to work hard. Tomorrow's not promised. It's not promised for anyone. You can turn the corner, and your time is up. But as a village, we can continue to strive towards excellence, and we have to stay committed. And I am always here, and I got your back. Please believe that. Thank you so much this evening. The microphone went off. This one. Okay, good thing I had stage training and a projecting voice. Can we turn the house lights on? As I promised, I said 7:30. What time is it? 7:25. And so the reason I asked you to email your question, because I didn't want to leave you go for 2 hours. If you have a pressing question for me, you may ask it at this time. Yes?
Is there a cell phone policy?
We're going to get to that. That's next. That's next. I don't want to say the cell phone is the culprit, but the cell phone is the culprit. Right? A lot of the issues we have is because of the cell phone. But I'm going to send you a survey to see what your pleasure is. What I would like to do is to buy those little bags. When they come in, they put the cell phone in the bag, then the magnet seals the bag, and then they put it in their backpack. So they have their cell phone with them all day, and at the end of the day, on the way out, they demagnetize, they take their cell phone out, and they come home. If you have an emergency, you will be able to call the office, like we used to do in the old days. Call the office, leave a message, and we'll take that little piece of paper to your child. And they'll say, okay, or we'll say, come to the office. Your mom wants to speak with you. Because these cell phones, ladies and gentlemen, they're videotaping themselves, play fighting, they're videotaping, and then they post it on social media. Right? So I'm going to send you that survey, and you're going to tell me what your pleasure is. Did that answer your question? Bring the house lights up, please. I can't hear. Somebody's... I'm sorry, honey? Oh, his question was cell phones. Did my answer kind of give you the question a little bit? No? But it was the cell phones. What are we going to do with these cell phones? Okay? Yes. Whoever it is, stand up. Speak. I can't see you.
I didn't ask that question. Can I ask a question?
Of course.
So I heard how Vernon High School kids came into this school. My concern is now, what are you guys doing about security? And so that this doesn't happen again.
Well, first and foremost, nobody will open the door. All right? Because the kids who open the door, as I shared, were suspended. So that's to send a message to every other kid in the school. You open the door, you're on suspension. That impacts your college possibilities. I only have the security guards that the district has provided us with. We have cameras. I have cameras on my computer so I can see, my APs can see, the security folk can see. So we can see the building, right? So, but we didn't know, and I didn't know Mount Vernon High School had a half day. I remember when I was in school and we had half days, we went to visit other schools. We did. We didn't go into the schools without permission, but we went to visit the other schools. So now the security guards have to patrol. They can't just sit at a station. They have to walk around and patrol and see what's going on in the building.
Are they locked?
All the doors are locked.
Are there alarms on them?
No, they're not. And that was brought up in our cabinet meeting with the PTSA. I'm sorry?
Isn't that a part of Bonday's law that you need to have alarms?
It's part of whose law?
Yeah, Bonday's law. A student who had lost in New York City went missing, that became a law where schools require alarms on doors.
Okay. That's what we talked about in our PTSA meeting. We're going to investigate that. Thank you for your question.
Thank you for the answer.
You're welcome, my dear. Anyone else? Yes.
I was just thinking, just to play devil's advocate,
Right.
I'm definitely for them taking the phone because I do believe that the phone is the culprit. But without those cell phone footage, you wouldn't have known what was happening. As far as like seeing the fight in the bathroom,
Right.
or even seeing that they were smoking in the bathroom. That was that phone that gave you evidence.
That's true.
So that's how I was like, okay.
I know. We'll figure it out. But we're going to think about it and do what's going to be best for our kids. I agree with you. I wouldn't have known. So we'll talk about it. We'll figure it out. But I think the problem is when they take that video and they post it on social media. They post it on social media. Yes, sir.
It's not a question, it's more of a comment or statement that I share. Something that I share with my, I have a college student, and something that we share with her during that time. Scope were out and all that stuff, and she started posting information, and she was sharing information that was going on in the house. So we shared with her that once you post something out, there's no going back. You can't take that back.
Right.
To protect, your what we have here. And you cannot share everything that's going on and show people what we have in the house because people might be jealous and want to come out and be robbers or, anything like that. So in saying that is, Denzel is pretty new, like you were saying. You have a vision for the school, and not only that is the leader of that. You have Denzel Washington, you have Ms.
Phylicia Rashad.
Right, and the fact that parents will go out, they will to see that. Maybe they don't want to be affiliated anymore with the school.
Right.
But you're sending that message to the students that they have to protect their school. And anyone that wants to do anything that's not that is not okay. That's not okay. And sending that message to the students, I think that's very important. And you have, I'm pretty sure, most of your students that don't want to protect their school. Definitely.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Yes, in that.
How you doing, everybody? I just want to make a quick statement on being worried once the cameras and the phones are taken away. A lot of our children do things for attention. Once them phones is out of their hands and locked away, they can focus. Like she said, they smoked and then they went on camera to show people. When you're smoking by yourself, it's not that fun. When you're fighting, you're not fighting by yourself. Me and my friends didn't fight for ourselves. We fought and played to show for a crowd, for an audience. So I would say we loosen the fear, take these phones like old school and let our children focus. I think that's the best way. Thank you.
When are they getting those cases?
I have to order. I have to order. I'm taking the money out of the budget. And I'm ordering it. We talked about it last year, but we're going to move forward. But I'm going to say do the survey first. You're going to say yay or nay, and then we'll order.
Dr. Collins, those are in my school, so if you want to talk about those cases,
Oh, cool.
I can give you some insider scoop.
I think you shared that with me before.
They're, yeah, I can give you all sorts of information.
Are they working?
Absolutely not. No.
They're not working?
Absolutely not. Rich comes in and they can open them with magnets, they cut them open.
Oh.
They go through metal detectors in the schools and they bring in old phones. When I tell you it's the biggest waste of money, and I wouldn't recommend them. Oh, wow. It lasted about 3 weeks.
I think I'm going to sit down. I thought I had the answer.
They don't work.
Okay. We'll come up with something else.
Dr. Collins?
Yes.
Okay. I would like to make a comment about the videotaping. I feel from a student's perspective, one of the main reasons that kids go to the bathroom to do it and kids skip class and go to the bathroom is because of the law, we can't have cameras in the bathroom. So allowing kids go into the bathroom because they know if they do something, there's no videotaping. So because that student had their phone, they were able to videotape it, which is why we got the footage. Because there's not allowed to have any cameras in there, there's only outside. So that's why kids don't fight or vape or do anything outside in the hallways. That's why they go in the bathroom, because they know they can't get caught or get in trouble. And that's how they get a lot of stuff.
That's Andrea Pope, ladies and gentlemen, 7th grade. Thank you, baby. Anyone else? Yes. Good evening, dear. Remember, we talked about that last year. We talked about there were apps you can put on the phone. We had that conversation.
But if we lock it with a password that the kids don't know how to open it, they won't be able to use it.
Then what would be the purpose of the phone?
It only allows them to use contacts. If you allow them to use, say for instance, I want my children to call me. It only allow them to call me. They can't communicate or take any pictures or sharing. That's the item. I don't know about being on the phone.
Okay, we'll look into that. We'll look into that. Any other questions? Who? Stand up, whoever has a question, please.
I'm just gonna piggyback off of what she said. It's really the accountability of the parent. Justice could tell you. Call a phone company up and tell them you want to block. I know T-Mobile, formerly Sprint, it's called block the apps. You block apps, you block the media, you block everything. Justice will tell you, she was here in the building, and she was like, Mom, my dad is not working. I said, I know. You know, so, because I blocked it. So really, it's us as parents, it's accountability. You have to block these things, put on there. I put restrictions. She could only call me, my mother, her aunts. She couldn't call nobody else. Oh, Mom, my phone, I can't call nobody. I know. You know, it's really us as parents. And see, what we tend to do, because you got a lot of babies who have babies, I was one of them. You know, unfortunately, you know, I had that pavement that I raised her differently, but babies having babies where they don't, we look to pass the buck. Let the school take care of it. It starts with us. It starts at home. Block the phone. That's all it is. All you gotta do is call the company. Block the phone.
Thank you, thank you. Parents, you heard that. Block the phone. All right? Anyone else? And as you drive home, or when you're sitting at home and you have other questions or ideas and all of this wonderful stuff, just email me. Just email me and say, Dr. Collins, I was thinking about what we were talking about on Thursday. And this is an idea, this is a question, this is what I want us to think about. Listen, if we don't work together and do it, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Yes, dear, I see you.
I have another question. And I agree with the telephone, you know, the parents should block the phone if they can. My problem is a little bit different. My son does not have a phone. He's 14 years old. He does not have a phone for the very reason that I don't trust him with a phone. But he does have access to the school computer. And I'm wondering what can be done to block social media usage from the computer, the laptop. Because I'm going to tell you, before COVID started, he did not have full access to a computer. He only got on that computer for certain things. Since COVID and remote learning, he's had complete access to that computer. You know, we can monitor him, but we can't monitor everything. And I would like to know what can be done to block certain access. I only want to have access to whatever he needs to access the computer for school.
You're saying the school computer?
Yes, the school.
All right, let me check the technology on that. Let me check the technology on that. Hey guys, we're gonna be here all night. Okay, you prolonging the meeting. Go ahead.
Parents, when the students, I'm sorry, I'm Ms. Thomas, one of the assistant principals. When the students are in the building, most social media is locked on the devices. It's when they go home that it's open.
I think that's what she's referring to.
Yeah. So when they're in the building, everything is shut down. Because I can't, when I'm on my phone in the building, I lock onto the guest network, it locks almost everything on my phone.
I don't know what we can do at home, Mom. Let me check with technology. Because I don't know what yes, Justice.
Okay, speaking on the school computer, I actually use one, and I don't know what school computer the child may have, but the school computer has a lot of websites blocked already itself. It comes up blocked, so it's...
So she's speaking of when they take the computer home.
The same thing.
Oh, the same thing.
Yeah, it's blocked. You can't use nothing but Schoology and Mount Vernon websites. That's it.
Yes.
In a home, she only is allowed to use the computer.
Hey, hold on, parents.
I said at home, my daughter is only allowed to use the computer for school purposes only. She knows that it's being monitored. Anything happens, I know the school's going to take, I work in the school, I know that she would take you guys would take the computer, you'll be able to see what's going on or what, you know, and she could get in trouble for that. So she knows that there will be consequences at home for that kind of stuff. So at home, our computer is for schoolwork. Once I see you're done with schoolwork, there's no research project that you're doing anything, close it up, put it away. That's it.
Are you guys checking the browsing history on your kids' computers and phones?
Yeah.
Are you checking to see what websites they've been on and what they're looking at? That helps. All right, hold on. This is a heated topic. Over here.
My suggestion is this. Parents should tell the kid to be responsible. You cannot control this kid to my view. Yeah, easy, I don't control it. I just tell it, do what is right. I don't need to be around you. So you can tell us a kid and they take it. That was better for everybody. Thinking we can control this kid, you can. I don't think so. That will be responsible. Don't do the wrong thing. That's all I
Yeah, that's a position. I mean, it depends on, I know when I was, we didn't have cell phones, so I'm not saying that. But my mother was very clear about what we could and could not do. And I think we were afraid of her, really. And because we were afraid of her, there were certain things we just didn't do. We couldn't have boyfriends, we didn't have boyfriends. We didn't sneak and have boyfriends, we didn't done none of that. Because we knew if our mother found out, we were in trouble. So the times are a little different. You know, you have more things going against you. My mother was able to use a belt. See, you can't, because you'll get a case. And you'll get out in the court. And you might go to jail. But see, for us growing up, that deterred a lot of that stuff. We didn't do. I don't know what you're going to do. I can't tell you what to do. I really can't. But I just know that if each parent takes care of their child, we'll be a wonderful, wonderful school. We will. Yes, in the back.
Hi, I'm Destiny. Okay. I wanted to tell the parents that it doesn't matter what, like, the connection with the computer or nothing like that. It's still blocked even when we're home. So you don't have to worry about that. It's not the Wi-Fi or nothing like that. It's the websites that we go like that, because we can still try and go on, like, search up stuff for
And you do TikTok?
No.
Oh, okay.
You can't. No, it's still blocked, even if you're home or not. It doesn't matter.
Okay. Yes.
I'm hearing a lot about cell phones and these wonderful things that are happening here, which is wonderful. But I haven't heard about the social emotional support that's being offered to these students. We're all going through a pandemic. We're still in a pandemic, and you know, I haven't heard anything about it.
Because I can talk to you about things from A to Z. Social emotional learning for our school means every month I'm meeting with every grade. It means the counselor is meeting with individual students. It means the teachers are referring the students to the social workers and the psychologists when they recognize issues are happening. One of my students I looked at just the other day, she was having a panic attack. But I could, because I know every kid in the building, I could tell something was wrong. So being a small community, we're able to go right in and pinpoint when things are happening. Teachers are recognizing it in their classes, and they send the kids for referral. We do have a school-based support team. We are planning assemblies where we talk about those things. But on one particular day, when I had the grade meeting, I went around and I asked every child what was going on, how are they feeling, what do I need to do? And believe me, they shared. So we're doing that in this school. It's going to also flip back to you, and what are you doing, the parents? So you know a pandemic is going on. Are you talking to your children? Like I said earlier, it's going to take all of us together. It's not just a school. No, I know, I'm just saying.
Because I did not hear it throughout the whole.
But you didn't hear a lot of things, Mom.
I understand, but I think I'm presenting.
I hear you.
And I'm asking what sort of support is offering.
And I just shared with you. I hope that helps.
But I just need to hear.
Okay, I got you. Thank you for that. Any other questions? On that note, parents, thank you. Good night. Have a wonderful evening.